Football's over.
Oh, hey, you win. These guys all been
Kind of.
say that.
Holy mackerel. We've been lonely for half a season.
I've been here the whole time, Bob, thanks.
Like I said, we've been lonely.
Bob, how does the LaFontaine thing, obviously, how does it affect your team, and how do you feel about it, you know, when teams are able to do that?
Well, the real answer to it is the history's gonna have to be written. We're gonna know in March and April how the history's gonna play out, because, an injury could happen at any time with sports. So, you lose a player like that, bad time, you don't wanna lose anybody. But Jack he did a lot of great things for us here, and he was a great student. He was a heck of a goalie. He leaves here an All-American. Are we happy? No, but it's gone, and we have to, just like an injury. But the craziest thing is, I told our team yesterday, I said, the only thing I'm still scared about is COVID, and we're down 5 guys today. So 4 guys and 1 staff. That's exactly what I said. I said the only thing that's going to derail us is COVID. 24 hours later, we're getting hit. So, but that's the times we're in right now, and the teams that adjust and adapt on the fly are going to survive this, and it's hitting everybody. So we move on.
Did you sense that he could, did you have to watch now because COVID and everything else to see who might be vulnerable, or did you think that he could be taken like that, or? Who knows?
Which one are you talking
Well,
about?
LaFontaine.
That came out of left field. So I was in the second quarter of the Viking football game when I got the call, and they were losing. And when I was done with the news, they were winning.
What was it like for you just to get that? It was such a whirlwind thing with Jack from what he's explained it as. Kind of, it happened in like 36 hours or something. Like, how do you deal with the whiplash of that, thinking that we've got this goalie and then all of a sudden next day he's gone?
Honestly, you deal with like an injury. Like, it could happen in sports any moment that someone goes down. You have to adapt and move on, and that's what we have to do right now. We've got to, we play Alaska this week, Michigan. They don't care, They don't care if any guy gets injured and goes down, and they want to beat you. This is sports, so we gotta move on.
Was it a pretty productive week though last week? You played 4 games, which is unusual, and you got to see a lot of things.
Yeah, it was a really productive week. We felt it coming. Like, our last 6 games been on the road. We went 4-2 in them against some good hockey teams, and we felt it coming. We started to get healthy. Imagine that, our first half. We had to deal with a lot of things with injuries and guys down. We're finally all the way back, and then you think you leave a weekend and you think that you're through it, and you're not. It's going to be the rest of the year for everybody. You turn around and something's going to happen. And it's the teams that adapt, and I think that's all of sports right now. Our job is to try to be as successful as we can, and you've got to adapt through all this stuff.
How did you see Justin Close kind of react to the news, or maybe step up in the couple practices you've had?
What practice?
One practice.
One thing, like, Closer's just that's one thing that we've got going on our side with Closer is the guys love him, and he is. The guys are going to fight for him, and he's just okay. I'm ready. It's move on.
On the injury front, Pitlick and Nelson, any update on the 2 of them?
I mean, they're out.
They're both out. Okay.
How about that freshman goalie? Is he healthy or not?
Yeah, he's healthy. Yeah.
Not gonna look at him, or don't you know?
We'll just have to play it by. We have to bring another goalie in, and we're working on that. We've got to bring another goalie, so we'll have some more news soon.
How difficult is that to do in the middle of the season?
We had options,
Semester hasn't started.
Yeah, we don't start till next week, so next Tuesday. You get a little grace period in there, so we got time.
Did when do you find out who's going to the Olympics?
Already did. Can't tell you.
Is the number close to 3?
I can't say. That's their, I mean, that's for them to make that announcement, which I would come out any day, I imagine, but, what a great opportunity. Another thing, what a great opportunity. If your son got the call to be in the Olympics, you know, and we, you know, we're gonna have some guys, we're gonna lose some guys and play on the U.S. Olympic team in China, and if they get there, I mean, let's face it, what we're up against. There gonna be a few teams that are really getting knocked in the shorts, and we'll be one of them. But let's let the history book write itself, and let's not write it today.
Has this turned into one of the, I mean, you thought it couldn't get any crazier than COVID last year. This season feels like it's crazier than last season in some respects.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember, last year we were so confined in a tight area, you know. I mean, that was crazy. I mean, nobody was vaccinated last year. We tested, and we were pretty much in bubbles. It was. I mean, and I'm even trying to think back. We didn't hear a lot of it you did in the fall in football when they came back, but we got it. It hit us before the season, but once our season, I think we had one guy get COVID during the whole season. And now you've got this, but like the crazy thing now, there's 0 symptoms on anybody that are of our players' age and kids that are getting it. They don't even know they have it. So
You've gone off and coached the junior team a couple of times. Your pal Hastings is going to China for a month with the #1 team in the country. What the heck?
and Larson's
too.
going too.
Are you guys that unimportant? Is what I'm saying. Oh my. That replaceable? You know?
Patrick, I've often thought that. Am I allowed to say that? But I've often thought that.
You know, as far as LaFontaine is concerned, I mean, I remember a few years ago, Nocoso left in the middle of the season to go with the Islanders, and Don was so pissed off about that. He said, we can't be treated like the minor leagues. Has times have changed where you said, hey, good for the kid? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
My only maybe it's because I've been doing this a while, nothing's, doesn't surprise you. Uncharted territory, it happened, and I imagine he was such a valuable part of us and great kid. But I got this team to go, 20 minutes later, I was over it. What do you, that's all you can do. We got to get ready for Alaska, and that's our only job. And I don't mean that with any disrespect to our goalie leaving, but this might turn out to be the greatest move in the world for him. We got a team left here, and we got guys ready to play, and really that's the truth of it.
Bob, how big is your roster? How many players do you have? Because you got some guys with COVID, you might have some guys going to the Olympics. And
Everybody that can play this weekend is going to play.
Oh, is that right?
Everybody that can play this week's going to play. We have 26 players. We'll have 26, and we'll add another one in there. Maybe more too. We're looking at a lot of things.
Is there a limit?
No.
26 is not a limit. That's just what you have.
Normally I like lower numbers. I know there's some teams that are carrying close to 30.
Ben Meyers was Big Ten Player of the Week this week. Not a surprise to anybody if you watched last weekend's games. Just how much fun is it to watch him kind of take this team on his back the way he has offensively?
Well, he kind of does this every second half, where he gets a little giddy up in his game, and he's awful special. He was so hampered with his injury the first half.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, and you just felt for him the first half because he couldn't do the things he wanted to do, and the minute that thing healed up, we had a different player in our hands, and now he's got it shifted into gear right now. And
One thing that's, I was gonna ask you about Ryan Johnson, one thing that's impressed me covering him for the couple years is he doesn't seem to know when practice ends. He'll do another half hour on his own. I mean, did you know that coming in, and what do you think of just his work habits?
We learned that, a half hour. He'll stay out there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
He'll come back later in the day. He's just a machine. He loves to tinker, he loves to work. He takes it so serious. He's special.
Yeah.
He's special.
And then I talked to Chris Brown, the assistant coach at Alaska now. He said when he thinks of Bob Motzko, he remembers getting cut from the North Iowa Huskies twice. You have any memories of him?
Well, it's kind of an ironic statement. At my age and living back in Minnesota, I've been approached, a few dozen times with people that, do you remember me? No, where did we meet? You cut me. And then I always follow with the same, did I make a mistake? And I've yet to have a guy tell me, yeah, you did. So, and that is a true statement. Like, it's happened to me a lot. I
Sure.
said, no, I'm sorry, I don't remember. You cut me.
Bob, this is a little bit further up there, you're talking about Meyers from Delano, and St. Louis Park, and the Dodge County kid, and Laverne kid. What do you see in terms of, over the last 20 years, development of hockey outside of what would be the metropolitan and the Iron Range, in terms of more and more, it doesn't matter where you grow up, you can still get to where you want to go?
Absolutely. That's our state, too. And our state and outlying areas, Nye's from Arizona, and I think, someone told me this once, and it's just a theory. Sometimes these kids that are in outlying areas, like, there aren't many players in smaller towns, so the coach never gets mad at them. So when they make a mistake, they keep playing, and they get the puck a lot, and they develop their skills and talents. And I kind of thought about that when it was told to me that way. I like players that come from outlying areas, Little Falls, Hermantown, where I'd had a history, and then we St. Francis, and then are we looking here now at that? Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you'll see, I grew up in Austin, and remember New Ulm had some baseball players, and we're a big baseball town, like athletes, and sometimes that's what you get with these kids that. I wish there was more freedom in hockey in these big metro areas. Skill development versus that. Now it's back to Patrick's point. Coaching sometimes overrated. Let these kids play. Let them play.
That was a joke, but.
I actually am kind of with you sometimes. But that was explained to me once by an NHL scout, that sometimes these kids from outlying areas are allowed to really develop their talents. I've never studied it, but sometimes you see that those talented kids that they got to play on all the sports teams. They develop their talents, and I've always respected that. And I'm not afraid to go into Jackson Nelson, Laverne. I know he was here before I got here, but he's an athlete, that kid.
Bob, with so many of the top teams losing players or coaches to the Olympics, how does that, just change the outlook of does it make things more unknown? Kind of heading into what is it going to look like in the postseason when there's moving pieces like this?
It's going to affect rosters.
Yeah.
And
well,
I don't. Are you talking? I got to know more specifically what you mean.
Well, I guess I'm just curious for you, when you know that there's going to be so many unknowns, does it make it harder to predict, or do you try and maybe just don't even try to look that far?
Well,
Here's who might be the people that are going to be the top guys, and how do we game plan for that?
I've never predicted. That's just a dangerous way for coaches to start predicting. We just play and we're going to have a stretch of 6 hockey games where we've got enough guys to fight through those 6 games. I'm convinced of that. But we got to coach these next 6 first before I get into February. So I'd like to stay. If I had a wish list, I'd like to stay healthy. Because we're gonna be short bodies, and I hope they put some subjectivity into the NCAA. This was done to us. I hope they have some subjectivity, and if it dings a roster, and that's. But and there'll be enough data to see if that happens. But the best thing we can do is take care of what we're doing right now. And you know, when we get through this week, we'll have all our guys back, except we'll have 2 down for a while now. Nelly will probably be down 4 or 5 weeks, and Pitt will probably be down 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And we've got depth to cover that. But like I said yesterday, the biggest thing I'm still worried about that's in our way is COVID.
How often do you have to test them? Once a week?
No, we're symptoms or
Oh, symptoms.
symptoms, or if there was a close contact, they can determine. Sometimes you want to test. That's what we did now, coming off a road trip. We self-tested ourselves just to see where we were, because we had 1 positive test.
Frank, last one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be embracing this challenge of this floating roster situation that you're coming up against. Are you enjoying this?
Yep, I kind of am.
Why?
Like it's, you know, I think I am because I see it in some of our guys' eyes, an opportunity for them. And we'll do our best with that group. You know, I am into this challenge. So let's get after it.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Bob.
Anything else? Deutsche, I'll call it. Anything else?
Hey, Bob, anybody ever lose anybody mid-season?
Sammy, I'll start with the big question. What was the conversation with Jack when you learned that he was leaving?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was, you know, a big shock, but we're happy for him, and it's a great opportunity. Obviously, we'd still like him here.
Yeah.
But you have to be happy, and that's, you know, a great opportunity, and you know, we'll be watching. Yeah, we're happy for him.
You've obviously seen a lot of Justin Close over the last 3 years. Sounds like guys are pretty confident in him.
Yeah, he's been working so hard every single day in practice, and you know, finally, you know, it's his time, and he's ready, and we're excited, and you know, we just move forward, and that's that.
How have you seen just the rest of the team react to this news? It can be kind of a rallying thing, but I'm sure it can also be an emotional thing too. Just like, how have you seen the guys respond?
Yeah, honestly, it's been, obviously it's shock, and everyone's shocked, but it's been pretty good, and honestly, like, we're happy for him, and you know what, he's not on our team anymore, and you know, still love the guy, he's our best friend, and we're happy for him, but we move on, and you know, we try to, you know, make a run and you know, make something happen at the end of the year.
What kind of pressure does it put on you? You know, Jack was one of the captains, not naming names, but you're going to be losing some people to the Olympics, right? Like, if you are one of the leaders kind of left, how do you kind of like rally the team in a moment where you're going to be down a couple of guys, right?
Yeah, honestly, this team makes my job pretty easy, just because, you know, we have everyone's just such a great guy, and everyone's a leader. So honestly, it's not too hard on my end. Obviously, it hurts losing guys to Olympics and stuff, but that's exciting too, and we're all super happy for them. And you know what, for the guys that are here, we're just gonna keep going. You know, we're gonna try to win as many games as possible, and you know, when they come back, we'll hit the ground even running faster. So, yeah.
Did Ben ever actually say, I'm going to put this team on my back offensively, or did he just kind of go out and do it the last couple of weeks?
You know, he didn't mention it. He just went and did it. So, yeah, no, that was pretty cool to see, and hopefully that keeps going.
Bob was saying that despite all the challenges of people leaving or whatnot, like, there's an exciting aspect of it to see the guys that maybe haven't had as much of an opportunity kind of be like, this is my chance. Like, is that something that's been interesting for you too, just to see, like, you know, who's going to step up, or like what kind of guys are kind of seeing like, this is my chance?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's really cool to see. It's exciting because our team is so deep, and we have so many guys, and you know, really good players that maybe aren't getting as much time as others, and it's cool to see, you know, them now having big roles, and so it's, you know, the ship keeps moving, you know, and we're excited, and we'll just keep going.
Sammy, you've played with Ryan Johnson for a couple of years now. Does he ever talk? I mean, you know, he does some good stuff on the ice, but what's he like as a teammate? He seems like to be a pretty quiet guy.
Oh, he's an awesome dude. He is quiet. He's, but yeah, you don't get many words out of him, but you know, everything he says is, he's like the nicest guy ever. So we all love him. Yeah.
And it seems like you guys have your set practice time, and then there's like another hour that's just Ryan Johnson. You guys
Yeah,
ever talk to him about that?
Yeah, he likes to stay on the ice. He's kind of one of those rink rats. So yeah.
Sammy, do you think the roster being in flux the way it is will help this team focus? Because, you know, you had so many split weekends in the first half. Is this going to help guys focus a little better?
Yeah, for sure. And I think with, you know, guys leaving the Olympics, guys are going to have to fill those roles and, you know, come up big, and we need every single guy. So it's exciting to see, and, you know, it's exciting to see what guys will bring to the table. So we just keep moving.
Your coach talked about, you know, his biggest fear is COVID right now. I mean, what do you guys do to kind of stay safe and try and avoid it?
Yeah, it's, you know, obviously still out there, and we just try to avoid it by, you know, staying in and trying to, you know, not let that affect us too much. And you know what, a couple guys get it, then we just, you know, other guys fill those roles, and we keep moving. But yeah, hopefully, you know, everyone stays safe, and we can just play hockey.
I don't think a lot of us know Justin Close that well. What can you say just about what he's like as a person, his personality? Like, is he funny? Is he serious? Like, I just am kind of trying to get to know him a little better.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, and he's always smiling, and yeah, he's definitely, you know, one of my good friends. So it's exciting to see him be able to step in that new role and take on that responsibility. But yeah, no, he's a great guy, and you got to get to know him.
You played in front of him in a few settings, exhibitions, and, you know, third periods and whatever. Is he chatty out there? What's he like?
Yeah, no, he is one of those guys that likes to talk with. It's helpful, you know, for the D when you're going back for a puck or something, or if you don't see your guy behind you, he's talking. But you know, we're always confident when, you know, when he's back there. Just, he's a solid goalie, and you know, we're not too worried. Just keep moving.
I was gonna say, you and Blake have combined for a lot of goals in a lot of different ways. Was that the first one you'd gotten with the come out of the penalty box and just get to the net kind of play?
I think so. I'll tell you what, I saw the puck going up along the boards as soon as I was getting out of the box, and I was like, oh, Blake's getting me this. I just got to keep going. So, I mean, plays like that, we've kind of done a lot.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think ever out of the box, so that was pretty cool.
And I mean, not to rehash the penalty, but it looked like you did drop your stick, but what was the explanation?
Honestly, it all happened so fast. I didn't know that, like, I honestly didn't realize that I still had the broken part in my hand,
Okay.
and the puck just came to me, and I tried to kick it away from me, and apparently you can't do that. So.
I think it's only been like one practice that Closer's been like the #1 guy and whatnot. But did you see him like approach it any differently, or have like a different air about him, like knowing that it's kind of his
No,
job?
I mean, obviously, like, you know, it's in the back of his head, but he comes to the rink every single day and play the same way, and so it was just the same Justin. So, you know, working his tail off. So nothing's changed, and we're excited for kind of the opportunity that he's got.
Did you play Beauty League with or against him at all? You played
No.
some there. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Would he be a better poker player or chess player?
Oh man. I think probably chess. I don't know. he's got some brains to him. I don't know if he has the best poker face, but I don't know. That's funny.
Anything else for Sammy? Thank you.
Thanks, Sammy.
Thanks, guys.
Ben, congrats on the Big Ten honor. Just what's been different in the last few weeks for you? Your coach talked about you getting healthy first of all, but just generally, is your game different now?
No, not. I don't think so. I didn't try to change anything up. I just, things go well at certain times, and maybe certain times they don't. So there's really not much to it.
And how did you hear about Jack and his departure, and what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, I heard over the phone originally, and then I went and saw him that day, and I was just pretty shocked. That was kind of the reaction. Yeah, it was a surprise to all of us. So.
Yeah. How do you kind of, get that news that comes as such a surprise, and then kind of like refocus to be like, okay, well, he's not here now, so we got to move forward.
Yeah, well, it's something I've never really been in a situation too similar to this, so you kind of go through it for the first time, but at the end of the day, we have two other goalies, and we believe in them, and we're just moving on. So it's as simple as it gets. There's not a lot to it.
What should we know about Justin Close? For those of us who've only seen him here and
Yeah.
there, you guys have seen him in practice every day.
Yeah.
What should we know about him?
This guy showed up the first day at campus and never said anything when he didn't play games. He just worked his butt off every day, and his teammates absolutely love him. And he's a great goalie, and we can't wait to see how he does. So.
Sammy said he's a little chatty on the ice, huh?
Yeah, he likes to get aggressive, so he likes to trip guys in front and stuff in practice. He doesn't do it in games, but yeah, no, he's just a great guy, and everybody on this team loves the guy. Yeah.
I asked Sam, would Justin make a better poker player or chess player?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm not too good at either of those games, so I don't really know what it takes, to be honest.
Is it kind of difficult with your roster if you got guys leaving for the Olympics, you lose your goalie? Is it kind of tough that you kind of lose that continuity that you have with these guys, or do you have enough guys that you kind of play together enough that you kind of know each other's minds?
Yeah, no, I think the continuity is always there, I think we have a great team and a great group of guys, and some guys are going to be leaving, and we have COVID, so some guys aren't going to be playing at certain times. So it's just, that's the game of hockey. That's sports. You're not everything's perfect every weekend, but you learn how to deal with it, and that's just something you learn playing sports, and that's what we're going to do.
Did it surprise you at all? You get this COVID outbreak that happened today, and it's just like, well, this is kind of the sign of the times. I'm thinking.
Yeah, like we've been saying for the last year and a half or whatever, it's just like you got to take it one day at a time, and you just deal with stuff as it comes up, because nobody knows what's going to happen.
What do you guys do to try and stay healthy, stay safe? Obviously injuries happen, but with COVID out there too, is there extra stuff that you have to do?
We have to wear our masks and stuff, and just stay healthy. Eat healthy and whatnot, and take care of ourselves. So that's pretty much the focus.
Sure.
You and Matthew and I have been together all year to talk about Chad Lucius coming in and what that acclimation, what that process has been like, what's he been like to bring on as a line mate.
Yeah, both the guys you mentioned have just, they've come in and been really good players, and obviously they're highly touted guys coming in, and you've just been able to see what they've been able to do, and I don't think it was so much of anybody else doing a lot for them. They just kind of stepped up, so that's all it really was. Yeah.
Chad's a quick learner.
Yeah, definitely is. He's a smart hockey player, so not everybody has that, but he definitely does. So.
Is it the 9 line, or do you go by the Niners? What's the nickname?
I think you guys are gonna have to decide that.
Okay.
I don't really care what you call it.
Then to play a hypothetical situation, if you were to go to the Olympics, just what would that mean? Or just what would that mean for you just personally, also to go with teammates, but also to, be depart from this team for a little bit too?
Yeah, well, certainly it would mean missing games for our team here, so that'd be unfortunate. But obviously, I've never had the chance to play for Team USA at any level really, so certainly be an honor. And you know, I don't know if I could really put it into words right now to say what it would be like, really. So.
Anything else about it?
Scouted Alaska at all? What do you expect from them?
Sounds like they're just a hard-working team, and I've pretty much all I know about them is the scores they've played, and you know, they played a lot of good teams the first half of the year, and they've done well. So yeah, they're gonna be good.
Gonna be watching the Hurricanes on Thursday night?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Ben.
you guys.
You